Previously on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
I got it this time! I got it this time.
Oh my God!
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel Live. Tonight, Terry Bradshaw and Howie Long, Ronnie Chang, and Rashad Jennings. Plus music from Brothers Osborne with Cleto and the Cletones. And now, Jimmy Kimmel!
I gotta tell you, it's not a great night to be in a crowd. We're getting hit pretty hard by COVID here at the show. 3 of the 5 members of our band, the Cletones, are out sick tonight. And I've said it 100 times, you shouldn't be sharing one trombone. You should each have your own. Our band leader, Cleto, our drummer, Jonathan, our bass player, Rhonda, are all out with COVID. I guess you guys weren't invited to the orgy, or what? The great Jimmy Earl and Kevin Stevens are filling in. Welcome back, Jimmy. How are you? Say hello to the Paxlovid 5, everybody. And I also would like to welcome those of you who are still conscious after the Monday Night Football game. You know, the big story in the NFL this weekend, big story every weekend, is did Taylor Swift go to the Chiefs game? And, well, sure enough, she did show up in Kansas City yesterday to cheer on Travis Kelce and also to reveal her new secret handshake with Brittany Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' wife, which I have to say is a bummer for us because that's our secret handshake. Yeah. Right? And now it's everyone's handshake. I guess it works. Because Travis Kelce had his best game of the season yesterday. He finished with a touchdown, 12 catches, 179 yards, and 35 friendship bracelets. So what a haul. And then today, the world was treated to a photo of Taylor kissing Travis on the cheek. And surprisingly, her fans are being very level-headed about it. Their reaction was muted. Just killed myself. Reasonable. Height difference, I am screaming, and why wouldn't you be? Pissing and my pants while screaming, crying, and sobbing on the floor. Of course, a perfectly normal reaction to a kiss on the cheek. I wonder if Travis Kelce knows that he ever tries to end this relationship. He's dead. They'll kill him. It's the dating equivalent of asking the mafia to go in on a restaurant with you. In less important news, we still don't have a Speaker of the House. And it isn't likely they will elect one soon. There are now 8 candidates for Speaker, 7 white men and 1 black man, or as Republicans call it, a very diverse slate of choices. It's like the reunion of a college basketball team from 1955, you know? The reason they're in this mess is because Matt Gaetz and company ousted the Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, and then they found another guy, Steve Scalise. They voted. He couldn't get votes. Then they went to the next guy, Jim Jordan. He wrestled his way in there. He couldn't get the votes. Even though, according to his fellow Republicans, Jim Jordan is a super-duper popular guy after you-know-who. He might even be the 2nd most popular guy in the party.
What we need to do is elect Jim Jordan, who is the 2nd most popular Republican in the country.
The 2nd most popular Republican is Jim Jordan.
The 2nd most popular Republican in our conference.
The 2nd most popular Republican in the country.
The 2nd most popular Republican in the United States of America.
The number 2 most popular Republican in the entire country.
Arguably the most popular Republican in the Republican Party.
He is the most popular Republican in the country.
Jim Jordan is arguably one of the most popular Republicans in U.S. history.
The most popular Republican in the United States Congress was just knifed by a secret ballot in a private meeting in the basement of the Capitol.
Wow, that is tough. I mean, what do you do when your 2nd most popular guy isn't popular? I mean, I guess you have to go back to the 1st most popular, not popular guy.
Donald Trump challenged the election, so let's put him in jail for the rest of his life, okay? Even though it was a crooked election. If you want to challenge the result of an election, they hound you. Look what happened this weekend with 2 good people. They hound them and they scare them but we don't get scared. We don't get scared. I'll tell you what, I don't mind being Nelson Mandela.
More like Nelson Mandela-Catessen, I think, but... Trump is in New Hampshire today, rallying the Stoops. You know, there's a war going on, a terrible war. One of our closest allies was viciously attacked, and there were videos now journalists saw today that show how unbelievably vicious the Hamas attack was. And what's Donnie Dum-Dum talking about? This.
Remember when Biden? I'd like to take him to the back of the barn. I dream of that. You know what I do with him? Oh, I dream of it. I'd hit him right in that fake nose. That fake nose. They'd have plastic lying all over the floor.
He went from fake news to fake nose. Wait a minute, Joe Biden has a fake nose? I know he has wooden teeth. I think the nose is real. By the way, how about that punching? Poof, poof. On Thursday, one of the top election-denying nuts on Trump's legal team, Sidney Powell, pled guilty to 6 charges, including plotting to gain illegal access to voting machines. Powell was at that now infamous meeting in December of 2020 at the White House, spreading these banana-headed conspiracy theories that Trump found so delightful, he almost appointed her special counsel to investigate this imaginary voter fraud until the other lawyers talked him out of it. And you're not going to believe this, but Trump is now distancing himself from Sidney Powell. He wrote, despite the fake news reports to the contrary, and without even reaching out to ask the Trump campaign, Ms. Powell was not my attorney and never was. The old, I didn't even know her defense is back. Works every time, except for the fact that Trump himself tweeted in 2020, Rudy Giuliani, blah, 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 Sidney Powell and Jenna Ellis, a truly great team added to our other wonderful lawyers and representatives. We know she was on his legal team. She was right there standing next to Rudy on the day he had sideburn diarrhea. Okay? She was Trump's lawyer. Meanwhile, Trump's former vice president, the White Shadow Mike Pence, is having a tough run. He might not even make the cut for the Republican debate next month.
Mr. Vice President, if you don't qualify for this next debate, will you drop out of the race?
Well, we're working really hard to qualify for the debate, and it's going to be down in Miami. Lots of people are going to MikePence2024.com and making a contribution to give us the numbers in contributions that we need to qualify.
Yeah. Are they, though? I feel like they're not. I feel like nobody's on that website at all. Not only is the Pence campaign in debt, Mike's having trouble getting people to even show up at his events. What I'm about to show you is what I believe to be the saddest photo in presidential campaign history. This is a Mike Pence event at a drugstore in Sidney, Iowa. Now, this is, I want you to look at this really closely because there are more multivitamins than people in this photograph. I mean, look, all the major side effects are represented here. You've got drowsiness, you've got thoughts of suicide, difficulty urinating, problems operating heavy machinery, headache, the irritability, and of course, you have erectile dysfunction right there. It's heartbreaking. It's really, there are four empty chairs. It's like they were hoping 20 people would show up and they only got 14. Oh, man. It's the guy, this guy's so bored, he's staring at the cough drops on the shelf. The energy in this photograph, it doesn't say we're here because we're excited the vice president is in our town. The energy says we were promised donuts. And where are the donuts? Speaking of embarrassing, this was going on around the internet last week. I don't know if you saw this. This is a clip from the NFL edition of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. The contestants were Marcellus Wiley, Jared Allen, and former running back and dancing star Rashad Jennings, who had a little bit of trouble getting into the end zone.
There are 6 ends, which should help you out. Let them come up. Well, that's right. That's okay. Okay, now.
You know what? This is bad, right?
Why don't I know that letter?
I don't know. I wish I could help. I really do. But well, you can buy some time by spinning the wheel.
I'm gonna spend it. Check Aussie.
600.
P.
No, sorry.
The great director Quentin Tarantino. It's hard to fathom when you're sitting watching at home how something like that happens. So we thought we might go directly to the source to find out. So please welcome the most unfortunate Wheel of Fortune contestant for 2023, Rashad Jennings. Rashad? Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Rashad, I gotta tell you, I've been thinking about you all weekend and what must have been going. What happened exactly there?
Well, what happened was I was wrong. I had one of the things we like to call a brain fart, and it happened at the most unopportune time. But I had a good time. It was for charity. It was a good cause.
Had you heard of Quentin Tarantino?
I have. I love his movies.
Oh, you've seen his movies?
Yes, I'm not oblivious to him.
Okay.
But why, when that happened, not having the first letter, I was just like, brain fart. And as soon as it popped up, I knew.
Yeah, well, we all knew once it popped up. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was the only letter. But it was a good time. It was a good time.
Well, we thought it would be right to give you a chance to redeem yourself here and give you another. So we have some puzzles on the wall, and each one's missing a letter. And are you ready to do this?
I'm nervous.
Guillermo, come on in. Guillermo, our wheel spinner. There's Guillermo. Great. It's like everybody's favorite aunt at a wedding. All right, let's look at our first puzzle on the wall. The category is movie titles. Movie titles, Rashad.
All right. I think it's a G.
Is it a G? It is a G. It's Ghostbusters. All right, next one. Category is snack.
That's tough. That's tough, Jimmy, but I do love some milk and cookies. I'm gonna go with the M.
It is milk and cookies. That is exactly right. We also would have accepted silk and cookies. No, we wouldn't have. All right.
Okay.
Next puzzle.
All right.
Okay, this is, you got to get two letters here, but they're the same letter.
All right.
TV shows, the category.
Is there a K? Is there a K?
Is there a K, Vanna? There's two Ks. All right, I think you've proved your point. Rashad, congratulations. We do have some gifts for you.
Okay.
Yes, would you mind, bringing those gifts? You've redeemed yourself. You solved all the puzzles, and you've won the grand prize, which is a box set of every Quentin Tarantino movie.
Wow.
The Wheel of Fortune board game, and a crossword puzzle book with almost all the letters already filled in. All right, that's for you. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
So, Jimmy, it's a pleasure being on this show with you, man. And you actually, I'm humbled to meet you because when I was on Dance with the Stars, you had guessed that I was going to win.
Yeah.
Before,
that's
and
right.
I won. I want to say thank you so much.
Hey,
for
thanks. I'm glad you won once.
There you go. One time.
Rashad Jennings, everybody. Don't you have a podcast, Rashad?
I do. I'm starting a podcast because we make mistakes, but I always land on my feet, right?
Okay.
One of the things about this podcast, the Quentin Tarantino.
Putin is the leader of Russia.
Yeah, let me see.
He's not the guy that you're looking for yet.
Another mistake. But seriously, on my podcast, we have fun and talk about mistakes that people have in life and how they land.
Oh, good. All right. So you actually have parlayed this.
On YouTube.
All right. Very good.
Go check it out.
Jennings, everybody. We have a good show. Ronnie Chang is here. The brothers Osborne are here. We'll be right back with Terry Bradshaw and Howie Long.